Anime is filled with incredible warriors. From hopeful up-and-coming heroes to cold-blooded monster killers, the list is simply overwhelming. Each can possess special abilities, unique fighting styles, and weapons that complement them perfectly. But what if one could take these separate attributes and combine them for themselves? How powerful could they become? What feats would they be able to accomplish? In this series, I intend to answer just that. Let's build an unchecked warrior. I'm going to tell you something very shocking. Anime is freaking huge. It's a multi-genre spanning art form with hundreds of brilliant stories told by absolute legends. And it has millions of fans around the world, all from various backgrounds. One of the most noticeably large and still rapidly growing demographics of people that love anime here in the West are black people. Now don't get me wrong, damn near everyone outside of Japan has some appreciation for anime. However, in recent years there seems to have been just an explosion of passion regarding the black community's relationship with anime. From content creators here on YouTube expressing their joy to cosplay and full-on anime-inspired new IP, we just can't get enough of it. But if there's one thing we especially can't get enough of, it's original, badass black characters. With it being written and made in Japan, most characters seen in anime are naturally of Japanese descent, which is why it's rare and awesome when black characters not only make an appearance, but make a significant impact in an anime. And hey, with it being the month of Black History, I'd say it's the perfect time to make one of the coldest black characters anyone's ever seen. Funnily enough, when he uses his weapon, the last thing you'll see is a pitch black void.
恨みはない。だが、平和のためには消すもやむなし。泣け、鈴虫。
Should justice be dealt out to anyone deserving by any means necessary? Should it require the sacrifice of one's empathy, of one's friends? If you're asking the former 9th captain of the Gote 13 from the anime Bleach, Tozen Kaname, then the answer would be that justice should be just as blind and uncompromising as himself. Having a good friend of his murdered when he was young, and see that killer walk free engraved that mindset into him. When he joined the Soul Society, the very organization that he believed should be destroyed, Tozen never lost sight of that ideology. Over the hundreds of years of training and hunting hollows, his drive for justice pushed him to the high rank of captain. Soon he met others that shared his passion and betrayed his fellow subordinates and only friend in pursuit of greater power. Power he believed would one day finally bring the justice that he deserved.
愛する友を殺した者を許すことか。それは確かに善だろう。美しいことだ。目も当てられぬほどにな。だが善であることがすなわち正義なのか。違う。亡き者の無念を晴らさず、安寧のうちに生きながらえることは悪だ。
However, he wouldn't have made it so far in life without every Soul Reaper's greatest tool, his trusted Zanbakuto. Like all Zanbakuto, it reflects its wielder's power and soul, and it has its own name, Suzumushi. Like all Zanbakuto, Suzumushi has a sealed form as well as a primary and secondary release form. Its sealed form resembles an ordinary katana with an orange hilt, a tear-shaped guard, and a small ring on the guard's tip. Unlike most Zanbakuto, Suzumushi has two Shikai, or primary releases, each producing a unique automatic effect. Its first Shikai ability projects a high-pitched tone over a wide area, overloading the hearing of anyone in range and knocking them unconscious. The ringtone is produced by the rapid vibrations made by Suzumushi when it hears the command cry. Its second Shikai ability has Suzumushi vibrate momentarily, and after Tozen moves the blade around him, a trail appears, following the sword's path. The trail then turns into hundreds of blades, which he can then use to rain down his opponents. Suzumushi's secondary release, or Bankai release, uses the ring on its hilt to create a giant black dome that encompasses the user and any opponent they are facing. The dome creates a vacuum that nullifies the senses of spiritual energy, sight, sound, and scent. For anyone not holding Suzumushi, the only sense that they'll have left is touch. And since this Bankai acts as an extension of Suzumushi, not a transformation, the wielder will still be able to use the blade itself to attack any enemies unfortunate enough to be trapped inside. The amount of damage one can deal out while using a blade like Suzumushi would be crazy and unpredictable. So just imagine if they had a fighting style to match.
俺の殺気は俺の勇気それはとっても前向き刀は回転店は閉店 余力を残して魅力は光る8尾がサビのキラービートぜ俺様がyeah.
When you're a ninja in the world of Naruto, it's always best to represent the village you're from. To most, wearing the village's signature headband or donning their clan's sigil would be enough. For the ninja known as Killer B, it's being the village's star rapper and performer, and also being the best damn Jinchuriki he can. For his village and for his brother. He didn't care the villagers hated him for it. For B, doing the right by the man who adopted him as his sibling meant he'd bear the weight of all of his people's hate and still walk down the street with a smile on his face. As he grew into adulthood, this attitude soon allowed him to befriend the eight-tailed beast sealed within him, as well as earn the title of hero from the village that once despised him. Though he gained the respect of his peers through his positive attitude, he gained the respect of his enemies through his skill and power.
口から墨とはやはり噂通りのタコ野郎でしたね。
サメザメと泣かしてやるぜこのサメ野郎知ってる
何をですか
タコはサメを食うんだよ
Having access to a tail beast chakra, B is already exceptional in things like nature ninjutsu, with lightning being his preferred element. However, the physical skills that make him stand out is his mastery of kenjutsu, techniques that entail the use of sword instead of the usual kunai knife. By combining kenjutsu with his unique fighting style, Disturbance taijutsu, B can make use of another technique, acrobat, a unique style in which B holds 7 blades in between his left armpit, both elbows, right leg, stomach, right side of his neck, and his mouth. Now, I know what you're thinking. Isn't a style like this completely impractical? To the normal fighter, yes. But to B, a person that's used to transforming to an 8-limbed ox monster, this would be as natural as using just 2 for each hand. He can easily pressure his enemies with unpredictable swings from various angles in a manner similar to a hip-hop dance. When he finds an opening, he can quickly impale his opponents with several blades. His ability to impale his opponents is extremely pinpoint accurate, often hitting vital spots. Any master of this acrobat style can overwhelm the most skilled swordsman in the Naruto universe, including those gifted with the Sharingan, a visual ability known for its proficiency at predicting an opponent's movements. Fighting someone with this kind of style would be hell enough, but doing it in a void where the only sense you have is the one that'll allow you to know exactly when you've been pierced several times over would just be overkill. But you may be wondering, if this is a style that uses 7 swords, how could it be used by a warrior only using 1 sword? Isn't the answer obvious? Make the warrior the blade itself.
ここを出ようと思うんだが少々兵力がいるどうだ俺と来るかミスターワン付き合いましょうあんたにならちょうど退屈してきたところだ
The life of the bounty hunter is not for the weak of heart. The jobs you'd have to do involve hunting down monstrous criminals who wouldn't hesitate to cut you down. With that being said, it's the perfect occupation for a man known as Das Bones from One Piece. He is stern, calm, focused, disciplined, self-assured, and above all else, confident. Traits perfect for killers for hire like him. Making his name in West Blue, Daz was soon hired by Crocodile, one of the 7 warlords of the sea, to join Baroque Works. His ruthless nature would promote him to the very top of this organization, whose purpose was to destabilize and destroy the kingdom of Arabasta, eventually earning him the title Mr. One, a position that put him second only to Crocodile himself. Daz is a skilled martial artist with a superhuman strength that would make him formidable to any normal opponent, but the thing that makes him truly terrifying is his devil fruit ability. Devil fruits are mysterious, distinctive fruits scattered throughout the world, known for granting their eaters permanent superhuman powers, with the sacrifice of the eater's ability to swim. The fruit that Daz managed to eat was the Dice fruit, one that grants the ability to turn any part of themselves into a blade, and I mean any part. He can turn his arms into blades to augment his hand chops, he can turn his legs into blades to augment his kicks, he can even turn his fingers into blades to make them like razor-sharp claws. And since his entire body is a blade, his blades have no front or back, making his swordplay extremely difficult to counter. And the blades he makes doesn't have to be parallel to whichever body part they spawn from. Should the wielder will it, blades can sprout perpendicular to any body part they choose. He can also rotate 8 blades he wishes, which would effectively turn any part of his body into a buzzsaw that'll shred anything they touch to pieces. With such an ability alone, it's no surprise that Daz rose so high so fast. With Suzumushi in hand and a technique like Acrobat, who knows, maybe he could have risen to be the Pirate King himself. Just a thought. There's a saying that a lot of black folks like to live by: never forget where you came from. And with this video, I believe I've lived up to that saying wholeheartedly. Coming from the generation that praised the big three known as Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece, I've created the type of warrior that honors every single one. We got a weapon that's perfect for sneaking cocky protagonists and antagonists, a fighting style that's as smooth and unpredictable as it is deadly, and an ability that allows the user to be as sharp and durable as he needs to be. Take this man and put him in the leading role of any black main character and the story would end in one episode. Bye-bye, Afro Samurai. My man would carry every handband from 1st to 100, if that was the way it worked. Make people throw a party for gaining the 100 in first place. So long, Yasuke. No matter how many mechs or supernatural freaks you throw at him, my guy will still turn him into mincemeat. You'll never see him coming. You'll never be able to predict how he'll strike. He's the coldest weapon alive, the sharpest brother in all of anime. He is absolutely unchecked. But what do you guys think? Is there a black man in anime tough enough to bring mine down? How could I have made him any better? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm out.